Girl.
All right. Hello, everybody. The time has come. We have the lovely Kacia Fitzgerald on the team call, which to me is kind of a big deal uh, because you all have been listening to her podcast as well and have just really felt a lot of, I don't know, like oomph from it. I can tell such a difference in every single one of you, honestly. And I think that she's going to have a lot of great things to talk about tonight. So she's going to be sharing more of her story and just provide you guys with more tangible things that you guys can take away from her story. But we did ask for some questions beforehand, Kacia. So at the end, we do have like a list of questions from the girls.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, sticking around to answer some of those. So, without further ado, Kacia Fitzgerald.
Yay. I'm so excited, you guys. This is going to be so fun. So, okay, I can kind of give like a high level overview of my story and a couple little things that I think have been really pivotal. And then I really want to just make sure that I'm answering anything that you guys have so we can tailor this however you guys want to go. But basic overview, my backstory is, well, hi, first of all, I'm Kacia. So nice to meet you guys and see you guys. I have been coaching since January of 2014, so a little over 5 years. And I first started as a discount coach. How many of you guys started as a discount coach and you accidentally kind of built the business? Okay, cool. I'm with you on that. So my backstory is actually kind of funny. I ordered P90X because at the time I was working as a project manager at an engineering company and my life was crazy and I was living in Seattle and part of my team was in Beijing and Chengdu, China. So the time difference was just like bananas and my health and fitness goals were just totally put on the back burner. So really, I ordered P90X just because I heard it was really hard. I'm just going to pick the hardest program that I had seen on an infomercial. And what's crazy, and I realize this is weird now, but at the time it didn't seem that weird, is I was following one coach on Instagram. I had never talked to her. I actually didn't really have like a ton in common with her. I just thought she was really cute and she had 3 kids and she posted really good quotes and I knew she was a Beachbody coach. So when I ordered my P90X, I ordered it offline, just the actual like DVDs. And I put her name down as my coach because I thought maybe she would like get commission off my order. I literally did not understand Beachbody at all. So she, apparently there's not a lot of Kacias. So she found me on Facebook. She invited me to be in one of her groups. And I was like, oh, no. I'm not interested. I was like, oh, thank you. You're so sweet. But like, no, I'm not interested in being in one of your groups. And the story that I had told myself at that time was like, number 1, you're a stranger on the internet and I don't even know you. Number 2, which is so funny because like I love strangers on the internet now. But number 2 was like, I'm going to do this on my own. Like I don't need accountability. Like I've got my ish together. No, I didn't at all. If you have done P90X, you know that day 4 is 90 minutes of yoga. And like, I just, I don't like to say can or can't, but like, I don't enjoy 90 minutes of yoga, period. So I kept quitting on day 4. Finally, I was like, dang it. I had been watching her the whole time because of course we were connected on social media and she's talking about her groups and she's talking about what she's doing. And I'm typing her name into Facebook, even though I'm not commenting or liking on any of her pictures because creeper's gonna creep. And then finally I was like, I wonder if she's going to remember me. Of course she remembers the random creeper who ordered through her website. So I type in her name and I was like, hi, I don't know if you remember me, but I've been quitting P90X like day 4 every week. So I should probably do something different because this is not working. Tell me about your groups. She straight out the gate. So here's a couple things to take from that right away. Number 1, and this is true to me still 5 years in, a lot of the coaches and challengers that sign up are straight up creepers and they don't comment or like any posts on social media, but they type your name in. They want to see what you're doing. They want to see if you're consistent. They want to see that you're showing up. And what's cool is she didn't do anything besides show up. That's what made me want to sign up as a coach on her team, right? Or it made me want to sign up as a challenger. But then what she did right then is she gave me the coach opportunity. She was like, hey, so yes, you can absolutely get started. This is what a challenge pack is. This is what we do in our groups. Does that sound like it would be a good fit for you? And I was like, yeah, I'm in. Like what I'm doing is not working. I was like the person that just like wanted to order right then. But I had been watching her for weeks to see if she was consistent because I also didn't think I had enough in common with her that she would understand my life. She was a stay-at-home mom of 3. I don't have any kids. I worked a crazy corporate job. I just didn't really think we had a ton in common, but something in my gut said that I should try something different. So she gave me that discount coach straight out the gates, which is why I always tell coaches, give people the option, right? Because even if they say no, you've actually just painted the picture and kind of planted the seed in their head that they could do it too. Even though she invited me to her challenge group and I said no, she placed the seed in my head so that I was watching her through the lens of, well, she invited me, so maybe I could do this, when I was typing her name into Instagram and to Facebook, right? So sometimes we think about invites like we want them to say yes, but really let's disconnect from the outcome right there and just decide that our intention for inviting is simply just for them to see us through a different lens, because that's all it took for me. I didn't connect with her story and I didn't think that this was something that I could do, but she invited me. So that told me, oh, well, I could do this because she asked me, right? So simple, but so powerful, right? And then from there, like I said, she offered me the discount coach option, which I told her straight out the gates. Sure, I'm like down for the discount, duh, no brainer. To me, I was like, who wouldn't want to get a discount? But I'm not interested in ever like building a business, just so you know, like that's really not my thing. Like, thank you so much for asking, but like definitely not ever. I was wrong. So then she added me into her team page. And this again was really powerful. I always tell my coaches to add discount coaches to the team page. I always tell my coaches, never discount the discount coaches, right? We've got to get them in the door so that they can see that this is something bigger. Because in that team page, I saw so many people that were posting about their challengers that they were impacting. Meanwhile, I had a 6-figure job. I had a great career trajectory. I had on paper all of the things, but she didn't know, nor was I able to really identify that I just wasn't as fulfilled as I thought that I could be. And I saw that these women were making an impact on people. So while I wasn't driven by community, to be honest, I wasn't looking for more girlfriends. I wasn't looking for a business opportunity. I was looking for more fulfillment. And I saw that these girls were getting that. And I wasn't, because as much as like a project manager in IT helping software engineers get code on firewalls is important, I guess, for like cybersecurity, it wasn't making me fill my cup to the point of overflow. I wasn't getting people that were like, Kacia, you're changing my life because of this cybersecurity, right? Like, let's be real. So that being said, I was in that page and I was watching everything that was happening. I wasn't commenting on anything. I wasn't talking to her about the coaching opportunity. I was just like doing my own thing in the challenge group, but the seed was planted and I was watching. So don't discount the discount coaches. Add everyone into your team page. Don't write off their success or their ability or their desire to build a business just because they don't think they want to. Because most of us don't say yes the first time. Most of us don't sign up and build a business straight out the gates, right? But sometimes, like once we get in it, we are so obsessed with it and we're so excited about it that we're like, what? Why would not everyone want to do this? Well, girl, you probably didn't want to do it straight out the gates either. So why are we expecting that other people are going to do that too, right? It just makes it so much more fun when you have that lens of like excitement and zest for this. So after a couple months of watching in that team page as a discount coach, I came to her and I was like, okay, I want to build a business. Light bulb like went off in my head that I think I should probably be doing this, but I don't want this to be my full-time job or anything, right? I was not committed to that. I just wanted to build a business on the side because I wanted more fulfillment. What she told me was super powerful. Go Emerald and hit Success Club. And she told me hit Success Club. She made it seem like it was super simple. So I acted accordingly, right? I was like, Emerald, okay, so just 2 coaches? She's like, yeah, just 2 coaches. I was like, well, could my boyfriend and my best friend be my 2 coaches? Like, I literally did not understand this business. And she was like, yeah. I was like, perfect, I'll sign them up today. So I'm going Emerald today. Like I literally, you guys, we sometimes create this story that it's super difficult and our coaches act accordingly. She literally made it sound like it was the simplest thing ever. So I acted that way. And that's the same thing I do with my coaches. I'm like, yeah, you can go Emerald today. Why not? I don't make it seem like it's like, I don't do push for Emerald groups. I don't believe in pushing for Emerald. I believe in making a decision that you're going to Emerald. I believe in educating coaches on why Emerald is important is because you have skin in the game. Why did I see quick success? I'll tell you guys kind of about my journey with coaching at the beginning. But I think I saw quick success not because of anything other than the fact that I quickly had skin in the game. I told my boyfriend of 10 years and my best friend, who's now a full-time coach, 6-figure earner on our team, who did not want to build a business either when she started, that I wanted to build a business. And both of them were so important to me. And I was so nervous to say that I wanted to do this. But because I told them, I wanted to show up even more, right? I wanted to show them that I was going to take this seriously, because they both signed up as coaches with no intention other than just supporting me. And like Jackie, my best friend, wanted a discount on Shakeology. That was it. And I hit Success Club. And then I've hit Success Club every single month from January 2014 to hopefully by tomorrow, right? Of all months that I've been a coach, okay? Not because of any like magical unicorn dust. I definitely don't have any of that. If you guys do listen to the podcast, you know that I'm like all over the place, okay? But what I did have was a very clear, decisive attitude of like, oh, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to make this fit into my life. I'm going to fall in love with the process, not what the process could produce. And I'm going to stay the course consistently over time. That's it. That is how I have built a 7-figure business with Beachbody, right? As of July with Cena's account, we have earned over 7 figures with Beachbody, which is crazy, right? And so just blows my mind. And it's weird to like roll it off the tongue like that, because it is so significant, because that means a whole lot of people love their lives more. Because you guys know what we do here. We're not like selling phone chargers. I don't know, I just picked up part of my phone charger. We're not selling phone chargers. When we are impacting someone, we're not just impacting that person, but we're impacting every single person around them, their coworkers, their family, their significant others, their kids, right? Health is so important, because I don't care how big your dreams are in anything you're doing. If you don't have your health, you have nothing, right? So what we're doing, it really freaking matters. So yes, I'm super proud of that. But what I'm more proud of is the girl who cried before she posted on Facebook the first time, who won day one that she signed up as a coach because she did something outside of her comfort zone, right? The person that I've become in pursuit of building a large team in a 7-figure business, right? So let me take you guys back real quick. Like I said, I started my first challenge group in January. Made the decision I was going to go Emerald. I actually went Emerald before I ran my first challenge group. And then I made the decision that this was going to be fun. I wasn't going to get caught up in what everyone else was doing. Honestly, I did not know a lot of coaches in the network. I listened to the national wake-up calls, and I decided this is going to be the thing for me, that I'm going to be as me as I can be. Because remember, I worked in a project management job. I worked with men predominantly that were 20 years older than me. And as a young female in the IT space, I had to be extremely like very buttoned up, which if you can't tell already, that is not my personality. But I love my job, right? I wasn't someone who hated my bosses or had to leave my nasty job. I actually love my job, but I could not be myself. So this business, I decided I don't care what people say you quote unquote have to do or how you have to post. I'm going to do it my way. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. At least I tried, right? But I was willing to stay the course consistently enough. Sometimes on national wake-up calls, you hear people say, or even from stages at Summit, you will never hear me say this, but people say, be here a year from now. I think that is the worst advice that you can give, because plenty of coaches are here a year from now. I say, be here a year from now and show up being you, getting better at being you, and consistently hitting those basic milestones month after month after month. Because what hitting Success Club does is it builds the foundation of your business, but it builds what's even more important, which is the confidence muscle. Because when you get more confident, this business does get easier. Those objections that you freak out about, which we all do. So I'm not trying to preach at you. I'm with you. Like early on in my business, I used to freak out about objections. But now I'm like, oh, I get to educate someone on why this could add value to them. I'm not afraid of objections. I'm not afraid of posting on social media, right? But that was built from consistent confidence, which is not just hitting Success Club, but all of the no's that I got. You know, Aunt Sally Sue, I like to use her because I don't have an Aunt Sally Sue, because I don't want to like offend one of my aunts or something, that like makes a little comment to you at the, you know, dinner table or at Thanksgiving that's like, oh, you're eating salad. Oh, of course. Are you going to post a picture on the Facebook about it? It's like, I'm sure people are going to say comments, right? But as you start to show up, you start to not just, you care what other people think. I don't believe in the whole like F the haters, screw what people think. I believe you just build up confidence to care what you think most. And as you get those messages from people that say, Krista, Liz, Macy, Jacqueline, you changed my life, You saved my marriage. You helped me chase around my kids. You won't care what Aunt Sally Sue says or some random girl on Instagram that you went to like junior high with, right? You won't care because that confidence and conviction in what you're doing and why it matters to you, you keep showing up for, right? Which is so powerful. So I was so obsessed with having fun in the process that I just was word vomiting on people. I was failing. I was seeing what worked. I was seeing what didn't work. Failing is a rite of passage in this business. And honestly, I think about this often where I'm like, if I could give a pill to people that could give them all the confidence, perfect invites, perfect scripts to like quote unquote handle objections, which I don't even really like that word, but more so like seek to understand what people are going through, I could probably make millions of dollars selling that pill, but I wouldn't, truthfully. And for those of you that even listen to the podcast, you probably actually could believe me when I say I wouldn't, because I'm obsessed with the fact that the people that we become as we're building this business is the actual win, right? Failing and wanting to throw in the towel like I did month one, where I was like, I can't do this. Nobody like this sucks. Like I'm posting pictures with my Shakeology cup. I'm like licking my Shakeology cup and like posting all these hashtags. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Guess what? I failed. I learned what didn't work, picked myself back up again, and kept on going. The difference between successful people in this business and people that throw in the towel before they see their own potential, successful people fall down too. They just get back up quicker, right? So we know that, but sometimes we look at this where we're like, well, I'm doing all of the work, but I'm not seeing the results that I want to see. Well, I challenge you to say, am I doing the work to get it done? Or am I doing it to do it? Because I freaking love what I'm doing. And if you don't love what you're doing, I say you screw your checklist, right? As an ex-project manager and a 7 on the Enneagram, which means I'm kind of squirrely, I have to have a checklist. But I say you throw your damn checklist out the window and you say, why am I here? Why does this matter to me? Who am I most excited to serve? If you are a mom with a postpartum journey and this business gave you your confidence and your livelihood back, girl, people need to know that story. If you were like me, who had all the things on paper, who would randomly cry because you were like, what is wrong with me that I'm not happy and fulfilled? I'm missing something. What's wrong with me? Am I an actual crazy person? Right? I need to connect with those people. They need to know that they're not alone, right? So when you get caught up in the mundane tasks, I want you to peel it back and say, wait a second, why am I here? And if I don't know, I need to take that time to journal it out and get my head in the right space, because your head is what's going to help you build this business. I could give you templates out the wazoo. Trust me, I give them to my girls and I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have all the logistics. It matters if you have the heart and the willingness to get back up when you fail. Try having this. If you guys know, 15-star is the highest rank that you can achieve in Beachbody. Our team was in the 4th week of qualification, which means if you hold it for 6 weeks, then you achieve 15-star. The 4th week, which means 2 weeks left until 15-star. And one of my diamond coaches quit and went to another network marketing company. And I was literally heartbroken because it was a curveball, right? And you know, like when it's a surprise, you're like, I've got no tools in my toolbox for this. What do I even do right now? But I still think it was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because I had to say, what can I own in this? What can I do better, right? You can't control anyone else. You can only control yourself. So I could naysay all the things about her. No, it's not about her. It's about, I tried to go 15-star with 15 diamonds. That just seems ridiculous. Gotta have some more than that. But also, you have to really think about, like, where can I grow? How can I learn from this? How can I grow through what I'm going through, right? So back real quick to the rest of my story, and then I want to open up to Q&A, is basically, how many of you guys are going to Summit? If you aren't, a lot of hands. Okay. Even if you're a brand new coach and you're like, I don't even know who this Kacia girl is, I'm on this random team call, go to Summit. It changed my business. I've been a coach for 6 months. I sat in the audience, my boyfriend, Zena, one other coach on my team, and her husband, the 4 of us only. We sat in the audience and I watched my coach speak with another coach in the network on the stage. And I sat there and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Yep, I'm going to speak on that stage. I don't even know how. I don't even really know how to build this business, but I'm going to do that. And then I did, right? Because I could visualize myself. I saw people that I was like, wait a second. If she can do this, why can't I? as soon as you can take that perception and understand that nobody has anything that you don't have, and you can watch someone else with their story and say, wait a second, I can do this. And you know where that confidence came? 6 months of hitting Success Club, and 6 months of also getting no's, and 6 months of wanting to throw in the towel, and 6 months of having people that said negative things about this, and 6 months of me developing the confidence muscle that I could sit in that chair in the audience. Actually, I was on the floor because I got in late to the room, beside the point. Sit on the floor of that audience and watch on the stage and say, you know what? I should probably really build this business. I should do this because I could do that too. I don't see my story represented, so I should go be the representation of it, right? And so if you haven't been to Summit, you could have that moment there. But also what you're going to do up to Summit is going to help you build the confidence muscle so that when you get there, right, whether or not, whatever your rank is, like, honestly, I don't really care about your rank. I just care about your mindset when you get there. Can you hear the message that you need to hear? And if you've been there before and you're in a different place in your business now, guess what, girl? You're going to hear a different message, and it's going to be really powerful. From there, fast forward, I'll give you a high-level overview, and then I want to go Q&A. Basically, I came back from Summit, and I was like, I was a diamond ring coach who had hit Success Club every month, 6 months into my business. I was like, let's see what happens if I do the damn thing. So I cranked up the volume on everything I was already doing, right? Success Club. And I was going emeralds, which, as you guys know, as you advance in your business, you just go emerald more times. You're basically doing the same thing over and over again, right? You're hitting Success Club and you're just going emeralds, like signing up 2 coaches. The bigger your goals, the more points you're putting up on the board. And every single one of my coaches that wanted to build the business, I said, okay, I'm going to help you hit Success Club and you're going to go emeralds. And we all did that. And then we went from me as the only diamond to 9-star qualifying to me passing my full-time corporate income. Oh, by the way, I moved from Seattle to New York, somewhere in there. And I quit my dream job at Google to be a Beachbody coach full-time in April of 2015. So that was full on the gas, just like balls to the wall, a lot of craziness, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of ugly cries, a lot of doubting myself, a lot of picking myself back up again. It's not pretty. It's snotty cries, like a lot of them, right? You will doubt yourself. But I will tell you, take away the income, take away everything. The person that I am now versus the person that I was, I would do it all again just to be the person I am now. Promise you that to my absolute core, because I'm proud of the person that I am now versus I was scared before. I wasn't confident like I feel now, right? So from there, yeah, we've done a bunch of cool stuff with Beachbody. I've had a lot of opportunities to speak on stages and stuff, but what I really love is figuring out how I can serve you guys. So I want to know what questions you have. You could literally ask me anything. I can't think of one thing that you could ask me that I wouldn't tell you. So give me some questions. Let's do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just say, like, it is so refreshing to see, because I told you the other day, I'm also an Enneagram 7. I'm like, I don't hate my current job. None of that. Like a lot of coaches do. They go full time because they hated their job and this and that. Or they've been like this introvert this whole time, and they finally have come out. I'm like, but that's not me. Like, where are my people? So like, girl,
they're out there, girl. I got like 3,000 on my team. You can go find them.
So guys, I've got some questions written down from the girls, but do y'all have anything for Kacia, or do you want me to just?
I also just want to real quick add on that too, Kayla, yes, Enneagram 7. If you haven't taken the Enneagram test, I'm literally obsessed with it. You should go take it. But that was actually one of the reasons that I wanted to build this business is I didn't see people that didn't have their back against the wall that had to make this work. I didn't see enough of those stories represented. So instead of being like, well, I can't do it, I was like, oh, well, I should probably go be it then.
Yeah.
So for you, your version of your story has to be told because someone is going to connect with Brittany or Allie or Jordan or Kelly more than they'll connect with me because they're going to connect with your story and you being you. And you are the person that is here for a reason to go serve that person, right? Because they need to hear it from you because they won't resonate with me, right? For example, I'm not a mom with a postpartum journey. So I can say, yes, I can mentor moms, but I don't have any kids. So I can't tell you what it's like to birth a human. I can't even think about it. Cheers to you guys that have birthed humans. But like, I can't say that I know what it's like, but I can borrow stories from other people So I think that's two parts. Know who you want to serve, who you'd be most excited to serve, and talk to that person. But the second part is be intentional about collecting stories, right? Because other people's stories on the National Wake Up Call, on your team calls, my story, now you guys know my story. Other coaches that you have, when you're talking to someone and your story doesn't match their story, you can say, hey, I can't imagine what it's like to feel like everything on paper makes sense, but I do have a friend of mine in the network who's done this, who's built this business, who had the same feeling, so I know that you could do it too, right? That's really powerful. Collect those stories. That's the most powerful tool that you have besides your mind. Random tangent, but that just made me think of it.
No, I think it's great because I've been having some conversations with some of the girls anyways, that are brand new baby coaches, and they, trying to tell them like we may have mutual friends and mutual followers, but just because they've been following me for so long doesn't mean that they like relate to me. They may relate to you more than me. And so trying to build them up and let them see that everyone's story is special, So,
So true.
One of the questions we got, actually, I'll go and ask you mine.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm being selfish right now. But my question is, how was your transition from corporate world to full-time Beachbody coach? Like, what to expect if that ever happens?
Yeah. So a couple things is I get a lot of questions where people, and I've done some trainings in like the Champions page about like building out a schedule.
Yeah.
And I think what's really interesting is it's going to take the amount of time that we allot to give it. Like, right, however much time we give it is how much time we take to do it. So when I worked, I'll give you kind of just an outline real quick. When I worked a corporate job, I worked at Google in New York, and I worked about 55 hours a week. I did not work on my business when I was there. So what I did is Sunday nights, I would pick my 5 different areas. I'm actually just going to tell you guys exactly what I did real quick. So I would pick my 5 different areas that I would post on social media, which was basically just 5 things that were important to me. One, of course, is fitness related. For me, I talked a lot about body image. The other one is business, because remember, if you want to attract people to build a business, you've got to talk about the business, right? And then for me, I've always loved talking about relationships. I talked about female empowerment, and then I would like do something funny, like random, okay? So I would pick those 5 things and I would basically rotate through those things. So on Sunday night, I would sit down and I would look at my calendar, and I would like be guaranteed that I was going to do one post every day. That was all I was committed to. Some people say 3 to 5, like, I don't know. I did what I could stay consistent with because I knew that it was a consistency over time game. Yeah. So I would map out proactively what I was going to talk about each day. Because if you think about it, no matter what your goals are with this business, for me, my first goal was I wanted this to be a 6-figure business. So I'm like, a 6-figure business would have an entire marketing department. Well, I'm a solo person. So I'm definitely going to take at least 20 minutes to make my marketing plan. So I would basically map it out ahead of time. And then I would listen to personal development while I was drying my hair, got a lot of hair. I'd put it in headphones and I would jot down stuff. I also took the subway to work, but I would jot down random notes in the notes section of my phone from my personal development, and that would be created into posts. And I would try and proactively do as much as I could so that I wasn't scrambling. You've been like the end of the night and you're like, crap, I forgot to post something on social media and I really wanted to do that. And then you're like, all of a sudden you're wasting all this time trying to think of something to say when you didn't do anything to build your business because you're like scrambling. That will not work over time. Yes, it happens every once in a while, but as proactive as I could be when I was working full time, that's what I would do. And in the morning, my alarm clock would go off and I had exactly 45 minutes before I had to start my workout. I was literally regimented about this. During that 45 minutes, I was going to send out 5 invites. I was going to follow, like, I can't remember what it was. It was like 15 people on Instagram or 20 people on Instagram. I made it a game. And then I would take my Energize. It was E&E back then. I would take my pre-workout, and then I'd have exactly 15 minutes till I had to start my workout. So I literally made a schedule and I just honored that. And I became a morning person because I valued my goals more than I valued my excuses, right? Period. Like that was it. So that's what I did when I was working full time. When I was working full time and building this business on the side, then I was really intentional about blocking off chunks of time that I could do this. I understand everyone's life is different. But I also got buy-in from my boyfriend, Zena. So if you have a significant other, that you live with, getting buy-in on your schedule, and then actually honoring your schedule of when you're on, and when you're off, your phone isn't like attached to like it's another limb, right? Like it's physically away from you so you can honor your priorities. Because I believe to my core, and I honestly feel like I'm proof of it, you can do it. You just have to be intentional, right? So I was really intentional about blocking off chunks of time. And then as the team started to grow, I would block off like an hour on Saturday mornings and Sunday nights where I would do like an open Zoom call, and I would just like talk with anyone in the downline that wanted to build a business. Because I knew it wasn't just about my personal coaches, it was about my entire team, which is why I was able to hit Million Club without any 10-star bonuses, which is really rare based off of volume. I won't go into details of that. But because I wanted to build for income, and I also wanted to help anyone that wanted to do this because that pumped me up too. So that was during full time. When I made the transition, I'll be honest with you, the things that used to take me 20 minutes all of a sudden also involved a call with my mom and then my grandma. And then I'd like go outside and go for a stroll, and I'd go get a coffee, and stuff that used to take me 20 minutes took me 2 hours to do the exact same stuff. So I had a season where like the momentum was at my back, so it still kept building really quickly, but like I had to get really organized. And then I started time blocking. I'm guessing I can totally talk to you more in like a one-on-one situation.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
What I did, because it's probably more applicable if you're coaching full-time. But the biggest thing I want you guys to hear, if you are a mom or you're working a full-time job, or being a mom is a full-time job. So like there's that. But if you have time blocks that you can find little chunks, I always made it a game with myself. On our team, we do what's called 11 and 22s. So we set a 22-minute timer going backwards. And in that time span, I'd put like 1 through 11 on my piece of paper, and I would voice message invite on Instagram. Now, this is what we do. Voice message 11 people to fill those 11 spots. 11 people that I actually want to build this business with, or actually want in my groups, right? Because that's the beauty of this business, you guys. You get to pick who you do it with, right? Which is so freaking cool. So I would send a direct voice message on invite or on Instagram. And what's really nice if you're scared of inviting, which I feel a lot of coaches are, is when you've got the goal in mind of I have to fill these 11 spots in 22 minutes or less. You prove to yourself how much you can get done in 22 minutes, but you also forget that you're scared because you have to fill those spots because the time is running out, right? So that's really worked well for us on our team too, is to really prioritize those business building activities that are actually going to move your business forward versus business related activities like scrolling to see what everyone in the network's doing. I still to this day, unless I've done diamond dashes with them or spoken with them at events, I still don't know a lot of coaches in the network because I honestly don't care. Not because I don't care about them. I'm like the most supportive person of other people and what they're doing, but I just like I'm not going to make time for it, right? If I'm not working my business, I'm with my people outside of this business.
Gotcha. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to you about all of that, actually. Another question that came through was, when you were first starting out, what kept you going when you felt like giving up?
Thinking about the person that I was giving up on if I didn't do it. So I knew that I didn't think this was real, and I wasn't willing to give up on the person that I didn't even know yet, that this could change their life. And as soon as you start to do this and you get one message from someone that tells you that you've changed their life, or you hear one story of the person that you've reached out to, that you brought into this community, it's really hard to want to throw in the towel because you realize that it's not really about you anymore. And for whatever you believe in, whether it's like religion or universe or whatever, I think you're here for some type of purpose. Maybe it's not to do Beachbody until you're like 100, but you're here now and you were drawn to this opportunity. And I think you might, whether you build a massive business or you invite the person who needs this more than you, it's no longer just about you, which is really powerful. We have a coach on our team named Brittany Crosby that in the best shape of her life was diagnosed with stage 3 ovarian cancer. And if she didn't have Beachbody and wasn't in the shape that she was in to get the chemo that she has gotten, she'd be dead. So at 27. So it matters, right? I'm so grateful that my coach, Maggie, who invited Brittany, didn't decide that she didn't care about, she was more worried about what Brittany would think of her. Instead, she invited Brittany, and Brittany's still here because of that. So it's bigger than you. when you doubt yourself.
I love that because you just never know who you're inspiring and who this could really help.
Yeah.
It could really go a long way.
Yeah. And in what way? We don't know what people need, right?
Another question was, how did you go about starting your podcast?
I started it at the very end of November 27th, which was my coach anniversary of starting my business, 5 years. And I just wanted another platform that I could impact people that I feel very fortunate that Beachbody reiterated that I've always wanted to be a multifaceted entrepreneur. And I just wanted another creative outlet. And because I had the bandwidth and now I'm able to outsource part of my business to my assistant to help with some of the day-to-day stuff, I had more bandwidth that I was able to give up and kind of focus on free content for anyone and for some of you guys, which is so fun. And I just wanted to interview people because podcasts changed my world. And I feel like I didn't have access to people that thought in a different way than I did because I was always the weird, uber ambitious, like crazy one in my friend group. And my parents were like, Kacia, just you go be Kacia. So I needed people that thought differently. So I wanted to go get those people and bring them to other girls like me that needed those people.
Love it. Y'all can chime. I feel like I'm like taking the stage here. Y'all can chime in any moment. Okay. Macy, do you have a question? This is my younger sister, one of my sisters.
Hi, Macy.
Okay, so I listened to your podcast, How to Get Pumped Before 9 a.m. How do you not hit snooze? Because I am the snooze queen.
It takes practice for sure. I think part of it is personality, but I think it can be trained, like for sure. Where if you decide that you're a morning person and you act according to what a morning person would do, a morning person's constantly going to look for why they're excited, right? So I listened to the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. And I literally I'm not kidding. I actually launch myself out of bed like an actual rocket every single morning. I'm not kidding. I like lie like this and like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I literally jump up out of my bed. And once I'm up, it's like you jerked yourself so much that you just have to do it. And you commit to doing it. And then I go directly into the bathroom and I start brushing my teeth and I think about what I'm excited about for the day. And my boyfriend's a dentist. So like, Sonic Air takes like 7 million hours. So I do the whole Sonic Air rotation where I'm thinking about what am I excited about? Why am I so excited for today? And I have to answer those questions. So consistency over time, just like anything, and the decision that it's like, you can say you're not a morning person or you can say that you are, and you're going to look for things to prove yourself right. Cause that's just how our brain likes to process. Right. And I actually have a positive psychologist on the podcast this next Thursday who's talking about how to create habit loops in your brain. And we talked a little bit about morning people. So be on the lookout for that too.
Yeah, I'll have to listen to that because going back to like how you worked your schedule when you were full-time, I just started a full-time job yesterday. I just graduated, so it's all new to me. And I was like, well, how am I going to do this? Like both of it, like, I don't know. I was kind of doubting myself. I was like, no, I can do this. And then I listened to your podcast. I was like, I'm going to launch myself out of my bed like a rocket so I can get at least 20 minutes done in the morning, like sending invites. So that really helped me this morning.
I'm so happy to hear that. Congratulations. And also I will say, like, anyone that's in a transition stage, like you, Macy, of starting a job, it's like, well, right now you don't have any habits, right? Like if this is brand new, it's like, you're still figuring out the flow. So make what you do with your business part of your actual morning routine, and then consist and understand that you're just going to give it day one and then build up that confidence. Okay. Day two. And all of a sudden, just like fitness, right? You've done it so many days in a row that it becomes kind of part of who you are, where it just takes time to build the habit, but don't expect that you're going to like feel like launching out of bed, but you're going to get up out of bed and then it's going to increase, right? And you're going to feel more confident, just like anything. So being in a transition stage is awesome to start a new business,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Because I've got more questions, but if y'all want to ask, Brittany.
I've got a totally random question. Well, first of all, I listened to like all the episodes, but I was listening earlier to your one that you did with Dr. Christina. And my story is really rooted in like depression and anxiety and all that. So just like especially because it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Like, it was an amazing episode, and I love that it included tools for people who aren't going through it, like for family members and friends to help too. So it was awesome. This is totally random. What do your Success Club numbers look like?
Yeah. So for the entire time that I've been building a business, I have probably not hit over Success Club 30 ever. I normally will hit in the 20s.
Okay, because the only reason I ask is because, like, our upline is Ashley, which, I mean, she's on every national week call, like the top Success Club earner. So I didn't know if it was one of those things like you just can't build unless you're at, Success Club 200, or
I'm actually really glad that you asked that question, because truth of the matter is, you're gonna build the most income by helping other people duplicate Success Club points, right? But a lot of times, people that build for 15 star or build for a high rank quickly, or hit high Success Club numbers, those people are in the network. They have to have a way to like show who's working the business, right? So it's super impressive to hit those types of numbers. But I mean, you can build, my coaches that are 6-figure earners on our team have never hit more than Success Club 30 either.
Okay.
So it's just the consistency over time, where rather than worrying about like how high of numbers can I hit, figure out a way to fit this in so it's part of who you are and part of your lifestyle, so that you can start to make this manageable. It doesn't have to be, yes, you can totally like be like Ashley and like balls to the wall, like highest numbers. What I did is I always hit Success Club 10 by the 10th, always. And then from there, I focused on every single one of my coaches in my downline that wanted to hit it. I was like getting on Zoom calls and we were all trying to hit Success Club. That built up my income so much quicker, so that I've got like layers in my downline of high volume, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it's even more benefit, and Ashley does a great job of doing both, and I really love her. But some coaches are really high recruiters, but then they come to me and they're like, Kacia, like my coaches aren't making money. And I'm like, well, because maybe you take a little less time of yourself recruiting and you focus on developing those downline coaches so that they can go recruit too. And then it can build more layers. So I've been asked that question a lot, and I'm really glad that you said that. And I heard Melissa McAllister, you don't know, she's another coach in the network. She's in the top 10 like a million times. And she said at Leadership one year that she only recruits 8 coaches a month, but all of her coaches, she helps hit Success Club, which is why she's in the top 10. So I think that's really powerful too.
I love it. And I appreciate a different perspective. So
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Consistency over time, Brittany, that's the secret sauce, girl.
I second that, because it is kind of tough seeing some of the girls with like such high numbers, and I'm like, I mean, I'm hitting Success Club 10 at least every month, but I feel like some months I'm like, I'm not doing very much and whatever. But you're right. You've got to focus on developing your people. So I love that.
And also, sorry, just to add one like little tidbit on that too, is remember that this business, and I love this about Beachbody, it's not front loaded, which means if you can stay consistent over time, right? Like that's where the real, not just like a couple $100, but like that's where crazy income can come from, really building it consistently. So what is not going to make you burnt out? Mm-hmm. I want my coaches to be, I would rather, to be honest with you, this won't get me elite points, but I would rather have a coach that hits Success Club 4 every single month and is here for 2 years than a coach who hits 40 for 3 months and burns herself out and throws in the towel, not just on her potential, but on all of the people that needed to hear her story and the ripple that she could have made, but she threw in the towel too fast. So being self-aware of what you need. If you're fulfilled by putting high numbers up on the board, awesome, you do you. For me, I personally do not, at this stage in my business with other things that I have going on too, I personally do not mentor more than 5 new building coaches a month, actually, right? Because I'm adding them every month. I literally would not have the bandwidth to mentor them the way that I want to. Right. And some coaches disagree with that. So it's just completely your perspective of what makes you fulfilled and being self-aware of what makes you happy, versus if you're telling yourself a story of you can't, or saying that Ashley's a unicorn, that's not true. Ashley's just inviting more, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I completely agree with like the consistency over time, because April was kind of one of my more difficult months. I mean, every coach goes through that where you just have a little bit more resistance than normal, but it was one of my highest earning months because I have consistently built up the back of my business. So
Yep.
I totally agree.
Preach, girl.
So what do you do? What I do full time currently is I'm a trainer. Help develop people and train and do all that. And so that's like a passion of mine. And so I do some one-on-one calls with the girls and stuff. What do you usually do to like mentor your coaches each month, like your 5 new coaches?
Yeah. So I put them in a group together and we do a Zoom call. And so we have an onboarding process where like they go through 3 videos and we have a new coach call that's every Tuesday. So all of the coaches in our downline can join that call together. But either I host it or my best friend Jackie. We alternate Tuesdays.
Okay.
And then my Star Diamond coaches, because I have a lot of like pillars within my downline, they are duplicating that in their ways too, right? So this is for some of the team. And then from there, my new coaches that I've onboarded, their first month goals are always Emerald and Success Club, no matter what. And then I push them to run their own challenge group because I think when you have ownership, you're going to show up more. And so I mentor them. I'll get with them on a call together and they'll talk about the first month's goals. And once they've hit those goals, then we'll develop the next layer. I think about it like a cake where their foundation is Emerald and Success Club and running their own group. The next layer is like making a list of like 25 people that are within their friends and family that they can connect with that they think would be really fun to have in, that could add a lot of value from a challenge group. And then the next layer of the cake is also starting to work on the social media aspect of things. Because I think sometimes we skip from bottom layer to third layer, especially in this network. We talk a lot about social media training, forgetting that like your neighbor down the street and your kid's soccer coach and your coworker and your husband's boss also need health and fitness. Like everybody needs health and fitness. So I think there's a really pivotal part of helping new coaches understand that it's not just about having perfect social media. It's not about the likes on your posts, like freaking A, that stuff drives me bananas. It's just about building relationships,
Right.
Sending a DM to someone, right? Or texting someone or talking to someone in the grocery store, right? So that's really powerful too.
I love it. What if I told all of you, build relationships?
Yeah, that's what makes it more fun. That's going to keep you here too, right? I don't know any tricks about social media. I have no idea. Like, I'm like my picture or don't. I really don't care. I don't even know hashtags over it.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I just, that was really helpful. All that was great.
Thank you.
And then I think there was another one I wanted to make sure we asked.
I'm so excited for you guys just because like if you even have that like fire in your belly that you want to be on this call live or that you're listening to this recording, it's like you have to remember that like you are supposed to be here on this team, right? It's never going to be a lack of resources, right? Especially not in the Beachbody Network and not on this team. It's not going to be a lack of resources. It'll just be a lack of resourcefulness. So as soon as you own that, you can do anything, right? But actually, you can't,
girl.
like just ownership. It's so amazing. Like the coaches that are like, Kacia, I was waiting for you to do this. I'm like, well, there's your problem. You're waiting. Why are you waiting? You're gonna learn when to flop, just face plant a little bit. It's good for you. I think
So I kind of like what Courtney had asked because I joke around about the term onboarding a lot, which we use it at work. Brittany makes fun of me. I'm like, onboarding, like we onboard new hires all the time. We're going to onboard coaches now. You know, we're going to have a checklist and all of this. So Courtney asked, what does the onboarding process include?
Yep.
With
So we have a welcome email that has 3 videos in it. And the total duration of all 3 videos is like 35 minutes total. So like 10 minutes each. I'm a huge fan of simplicity. I think that coaches in this network are overtrained, which creates analysis paralysis. Nobody's doing anything. Can't handle that personally. So there's 3 onboarding videos. And then there's also a like business in a box video that Jackie and I created together that essentially goes through like a little bit more about social media and kind of how to invite. But the first 3 videos are what every new coach watches before they jump on a new coach call. But they just cover how to sign someone up and how they're always going to be the first priority in their business and welcoming them to the team. The second video covers Emerald and the third video covers Success Club. And that is all I focus on. Emerald, Success Club, and you being the number one thing on your priority list, whether you've been here for 1 day or you've been here for 5.5 years. Because truth of the matter is, you guys know I'm like a PD junkie, but also like, no coach is going to be like, you will never outgrow your business. Like, your mindset is what's going to hold you back. That's going to be the lid on your success. My business grew faster than I did, and it was very problematic. So I had to catch up, and luckily I was able to in 2015. But then I hit a certain income bracket, and my box, like, have you guys listened to The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks? If you haven't, it's an incredible book. I highly recommend it. It talks about your upper limits. And essentially I hit an income bracket that I didn't think I was ever going to hit in my life, where I was like, okay, that's enough. I'll stop here, because I could not outgrow the limit that I had put on myself. Some people call this, you're a mean girl, whatever. I'm more like the term of upper limits, where like, I just like hit the roof, the ceiling, and my business didn't fall apart because I had those layers of volume. So I still made more income that year, but my personal business, I just did not think that I was capable of more until I grew beyond that. So that's why I will tell coaches till the end of time, I don't care about your Success Club number or your rank. I care that you're growing as a person, because I want you to be here in 5 years, right? I want you to be here, and I want you to love it still. So how can we make sure that you don't burn out? You have to do the work. Like, if you're just waiting for like people to fall into your lap, like, good luck. Like, that's not going to happen, right? But doing the work, but putting yourself on the top of your priority list, that matters. And asking for what you need. So if you're someone who you know that you need accountability to show up for your business, girl, that is your job. You are a CEO of your very own business. I don't care if you've made $0. If you treat this like a business, it will become a business. It doesn't have to ever be your full-time job. I just do not even like that whole thing in the network that's like, have it be your full-time job and then retire your husband. No, thank you. Not interested in that journey, okay? And that does not have to be your journey. But you're missing out on a huge opportunity of not treating this like a business, even if you don't want this to be a 6-figure business. Because you get to see all of the cool things that come from being a CEO of even a side hustle, of treating it like an actual business and the person that you're becoming, and the greater impact you're going to make if you show up and treat it like that. And like, when you know that it's a business and you have a plan, that obscurity of like not knowing what to do, that creates all this anxiety and analysis paralysis. And then we start telling ourselves all these crazy stories of why we think we can't. But if you know that you're building a business and you make a game plan and you just honor that game plan week after week, confidence and momentum builds. And all of a sudden you're like, and you have a crazy business and you help tons of people. And you're like, how did I get here? Like, I felt when we had Million Club, I was like, that's a lot of people. That level of eyes were like, let's go. Let's do it again, right? Because you don't want to get to your goal and look back and say, wasn't worth it, right? Because you're just waiting to arrive. It's the person that you're becoming in the process. And every single person that you're signing up, remember, you're not just helping that person. You're helping everyone around them. So what you're doing when you put 1 Success Club point on the board, or 2, I guess, for a challenge pack, when you put 2 Success Club points on the board, it is not just that you're 1/3 of the way to Success Club 6. You are at Success Club 2, and you help someone love their life more and take control of their health. The most important thing, because if you don't have your health, you have nothing. Right? Sorry, I could rant on that. It makes me like sweaty.
I love it. I love it.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh, I just freaking love you. Okay. So I think that was it. Any more questions before we wrap up? Because we're almost at our mark. I mean, we've got her on the call, so take advantage.
I have one question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so I listened to a few of your podcasts, and I've always been intrigued by podcasts because I like to talk, and I get real on some shit. But I guess I've got, even though I'm a confident person and I'm really blunt and out there, I still have like reservations every now and again, I guess, just about feeling comfortable. Like, I don't know if I could like be comfortable sitting in a room recording myself and then uploading it, because like, that sounds fucking crazy. Like, who's gonna do that, So like, how did you grow? What did you do? Like, what just made you so comfortable to be like, I'm going to make this video and I'm going to put it on Google. And if you watch it, you watch it. If you don't, I don't give a like, how did you just get to that? Like, what made you?
I love you. First of all, I just don't believe, and this goes to anything, podcasting, beach body, writing a book, starting an Etsy shop, whatever, that like, I just don't believe that we are given a dream or a gut feeling that's not ours to have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally honoring the feeling that you have to just get out of your own damn way, right? Because the truth is, someone is going to connect with the fact that you're like, hi, I'm peeing myself while I'm uploading this. But guess what? Someone needs to hear you say that, Kelly. Someone needs to hear you say, like, you sound like you could be pretty saucy. You could say you're pooping your pants. I'm pooping my pants while I'm uploading this. And I'm scared, but I'm doing it anyway. Are you inspired? Think about it real quick. Think about it with the fitness person. Are you inspired by the person with the 8-pack abs who looks like they came out of the womb that way? Probably not. But you are inspired by the person that's showing up with her real story and keeping it really honest. So if you feel a gut feeling that you were born with a mouth to just blah, blah all the time, like I was interviewing people when I was like 7. So if you were born with that, that is in you for a freaking reason. And it is your duty, I believe. And again, I'm going to be saucy with you. You don't care. I believe you are literally dishonoring the gift that you were given in your gut if you don't do something about it. So that's on you. I don't care. Everybody is scared. Duh.
Yeah.
Like, we're always scared. You're just choosing courage over being scared. Right? You're going to pee yourself. Like, for sure. You're probably going to cry. And you might poop your pants. I don't know. Maybe. Like, feel free to DM me because that is crazy. But hey, it might happen. But someone will be inspired to take action on their dreams by watching you do it. And I think if you've got it in you, then that's, oh my God, Kristen. Kristen, the Koala Bear show. That was my show. Yes. Anyway, yeah, you got to do it.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
DM me when you do. And if you need a guest, holler at your girl.
Oh, hell yes.
You guys are awesome.
Anything else, guys?
Shelby, I peed my pants off. You guys are so fun.
Shelby, you need to. Oh my God, this girl. She is special. She is crazy. It's that mom bladder, okay?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. You do jumping jacks and pee comes out sometimes. Can't wait. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for your support of the podcast. That's so fun. Yeah. Be whoever, Galaxy Note 9, be yourself. Yes, girl. I didn't know who you were.
She was in her car, like traveling, but was like made sure she got on for it. So
oh my gosh, awesome. Yeah, I love that.
That's dedication.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kacia.
Thank you guys. Have a wonderful night. I'll talk to you guys soon.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
That just happened.